Hey guys, it's Tom Box. Thanks for tuning into MST.TV. This video is going to be a little bit different because we're going to start with the combo first before we jump into the actual deck. Now I want to give credit where credit is due. Yugioh Tube has featured this combo before. This is the one card Orcust hand loop, as I would like to call it. This is the Norleras hand loop. That the combo is so intricate and interesting that, you know what, I'm going to demo it too, and I have my own variant of the deck because I like to maximize on the success rate of this because I like ruining people's lives. Go to an event, oh, you're gonna top? Nope, because you don't even get to play Yu-Gi-Oh anymore, and this is what this deck is about. And as for the other credit I need to give, it's going to be H2C4N6, who originated this combo online, so shout out to him. Both video links are in the description, so shout out to both of them. And if this video hits 100 likes, that's right, you get to see my face reveal. This Tom Box has been a fake for so long, and you'd be surprised of what's under his face. This is like one of those Scooby-Doo moments. It was the officer all along. Okay, so anyways, let's go into this combo here. Let's describe what you need. You need either a copy of Draconet, which can be searched by Signet Mining, and that will either summon out a Guard Dragon Justicia, or you can use Galaxy Serpent, but since you're summoning stuff in defense mode, might as well summon something that actually has defense, and if you get no materials at some point, at least it's not going to hurt you as much, I would say. So you can also use Galaxy Serpent, same thing. Mainly it's a level 2 tuner, and this one's light, so it benefits longer. And I play different cards in the deck just so that even if I don't have this combo, because I'm siding out this combo probably, I don't know, you guys figure it out if I'm actually going to side it out, but you can also play the Flamvel Guard and the Soul Eating Oviraptor. This can be searched out with Fossil Dig. In other words, if you put 3 and 3, that's 6 cards, and then all 6 of these cards will have their own individual search cards, which gives you 12 cards in your deck that gets you the combo. So that's really, really consistent. And in terms of other cards, you can run a bunch of Call by the Graves. I'm running Saravis as well. This was inspired by Yu-Gi-Oh! Tube. I'm maxing out on Saravis because this thing, I believe, is not once per turn to prevent the targeting of your cards. You can stop Impermanence and Effect Veiler with this, and then you can save this for like the Ash Blossom Joyous Springs. Overall, that is going to be a really good time for you when you succeed in this combo because you don't care about the cards in your hand. So, you know, I'm not going to go any further into this. Let's just demonstrate this crazy thing. I'm going to do it with what I prefer. I like Soul Eating Oviraptor because I'm a Dino Thunder kind of guy. So this is my hand, okay? So I got my one Soul Eating Oviraptor, and we're gonna go into our combo now. So we're gonna start with a normal summon. Oh my god, he's gonna use a card on me. Well, let's just say I Saravis that, or Call by the Grave. I'm just gonna toss some of these cards into the graveyard. It's just so I burned out all your hand traps. Nice try, buddy. And I'm gonna use the effect to dump a card into the graveyard. The card I'm going to dump is Carbonetin, of course. And I'm gonna activate Carbonetin from my graveyard, banishing it and summoning out Flamvel Guard. So now I have both. And the thing is, it's very hard to brick with this deck because Carbonetin also summons out from the hand. And because it summons out from the hand, even if you open with your Flamvel Guard, it's not that bad. So now you can go ahead and perform your Synchro Summon. You're going to Synchro into Ib, the Justiciar. Here you go. There's Ib. And Ib's effect, you're going to get yourself a nice add, and the card that you're going to add is the Guard Dragon, World Legacy Guard Dragon, so you can special summon out that Flamvel Guard back out. So now you're just going to activate World Legacy Guard Dragon, and you're going to target a dragon. Rather than add it to your hand, you can just special summon onto the field. Here you're going to link them off, and you're going to link them off into your first beat cop. You need 2 beat cops to do this combo, so beat cop number 1, and you're going to activate Ib. Ib is going to summon out a monster, and the monster you're going to summon out is your Light Fairy, which is Lee. So we now have a Lee, the World Chalice Fairy. And when this one is summoned out, you also add another card to your hand, and the card you're going to add is World Chalice Guard Dragon. Normally, the other way of playing it in the Dino combo is that you just straight up summon this card, and then you can do like the LP Brotar play. We're gonna get there eventually. Now we're gonna go ahead and link these two off once again. We're gonna link it off into another copy of Beat Cop. What we're doing here is that we're just loading up our graveyard to meet the requirements for Norleras, so that you can just actually summon him out. Normally, like the typical way of using his effect is use like a Phantom of Chaos and then copy the effect. We're not doing any of that. We're actually gonna legitimately summon him. So we have our Light Fairy, we have our Dark Fiend, we're loading up with a second Dark Fiend, and now that we have our World Chalice Guard Dragon, we're going to activate Lee's effect, okay? And we're going to discard this and add this back to our hand. And now that we have a World Chalice Guard Dragon and we have arrows, we can banish this to summon out a vanilla monster onto one of those arrows. So we're going to summon out the Flamvell Guard once again. This time we are going to proceed to link it off. We only run one Guard Dragon because in my variant I run one Guard Dragon because I actually don't need to go that far with the combo. I can summon out the Guard Dragon right now. I can go ahead and use World Legacy Guard Dragon and move it over one space, giving me a double pointer right here. And with the double pointer, I'm going to use the effect, and this is going to provide me with a Brotor. Brotor's effect, we're going to target Beat Cop of all things, and we're going to go ahead and discard the Lee, the World Chalice Fairy. And now we're going to add our boss monster, Sky Scourge Norleras. Now note that we are now locked into summoning dragons, which is why you need a Dragon Link too. You can use Heretic Seal of Heavenly Spheres, you can use a Romulus. In my case, I'm going to use a Romulus. I'm going to link these two off right now. I'm locking myself off of my dragon only restriction. And with these two in mind, I have a link 2, which means I can link both of these off. And I can go into Nightmare Unicorn. Guess what Nightmare Unicorn is? A Dark Fiend. Don't throw out your cards because we need to go into the Orcust combo. We need to be able to kill our opponent after we're done doing this. So we're going to link this one off now into Nightmare Mermaid, Mermaid effect. And if they haven't burned out all their cards from all the previous hand trap, anti-hand trap cards, you can go ahead and activate Nightmare Mermaid, discard the last card, keep the Norleras. You need this one. You just met the requirements to activate it. So we're going to discard the extra card, the Ceravis. And we're going to summon out, of course, Orchestrated Nightmare, because it could summon out a Nightmare monster. And the way that you want to set up the board now, because Norleras sends all cards in your hand and in the field into the graveyard, and you get to draw one. And your opponent basically has to do the exact same thing. You empty out their hand with this effect. So how do you benefit off of this? So you got to minimize the amount of effects you use right now. So now I'm going to go ahead and link these two off. And I'm going to go into a Galatea. So Galatea in mind, I am going to activate Orchestrated Nightmare, and we're going to put a Heart Pourer into the graveyard because the Galatea is what I target. And then we're going to banish the Heart Pourer, and we're going to put a Skeleton into the onto the field. So now we're locked into summoning darks only. And it is at this point you can then summon out an Orcust Dingirsu. And using the effect of Dingirsu, we're going to reattach Orcust Nightmare onto it rather than the Symbol Skeleton. We want to keep the effect of Symbol Skeleton, and we don't want to use Galatea just yet, because if you use it now, you're going to send everything to the graveyard. And if you do make that mistake, if you're going to use Galatea, don't get the field spell. Instead of getting the field spell, get the counter trap, because that trap is gonna give you the additional monster that you can use to potentially OTK your opponent. So even through the mistake, you can still make a play. But if you don't make a mistake, you get to interact with your opponent who's top decking, and you'll have basically the only thing that they can interact with, which is really, it's kind of disgusting. They can't play Yu-Gi-Oh! It's over for them basically at this point. If they have no hand trap, it's scoop phase for them. But if they don't do it, you gotta go ahead and do your thing. So you need 3 Dark Fiends. So there's 1, 2. And I know I have one more right here. 3. There's 3 Dark Fiends and 1 Light Fairy. The whole combo fetches every single card out, and you just banish them all, and you just summon out Norleras. So you need to make sure that you have at least a Dingirsu and a Symbol Skeleton, or else you're going to end with nothing as well. So we're going to proceed to use his effect, pay 1,000 life points, which is absolutely worth it, to send all cards on the field and both players' hands into the graveyard. So boom, everything is gone. And you will draw 1 card. I guess it doesn't really matter what that card is. I'll just shuffle up for now. And Wham! Oh, I got a Draco Net, which is nice. I get to make a play next turn, but I'm not done yet. I have Orcust Symbol Skeleton in the graveyard. I'm going to go ahead and banish Orcust Symbol Skeleton, and I'm going to target my Galatea, special summon out my Galatea. Just put them in basically any zone at this point. Use Galatea's effect. I'm going to put back the Orcust Symbol Skeleton into the deck, and I'm going to set the Orchestrated Babble onto the field. I guess it's kind of there we go. It's easier to see this way. And now we're going to activate Orchestrated Babble. And during your opponent's turn, you got to look at what you have in your graveyard. You have an Orchestrated Nightmare. So upon the draw phase, you can go ahead and activate this, target your Galatea, and now you can put a Symbol Skeleton into the graveyard. They're top decking, remember that, and with that in mind, you can revive it in Yugioh to send whatever they play into the graveyard. So you have a really mean disruption against your opponent, and if they have nothing, they just set a card, go ahead, just do this, and they're gonna have a very rough time. We all know that that's basically over for them, because if they have actually nothing, you can summon out a Dingirzu, you can reattach another monster, you can go into a Boral Sword and kind of finish your opponent off. So yeah, that's one of your options. Use this. If they lose a card, it's your turn again, you draw again, you get to summon out whatever extra resource you have. I think they're dead. You just need to go into a Boral Sword, and which is why this combo does have a Boral Sword at the end. This extra deck, I kept the Topologic Bomber Dragon, I have my Boral Sword Dragon, I have an extra copy of Dingirzu, I have Long Yurzu, I have an extra Galatea, I have a Nightmare Phoenix still available. So my deck isn't dead per se, but this is the combo. Your opponent has no hand, and you get to play. Now, if you're playing against like a deck that has not so much of monsters per se, but more spells and traps, then don't set the Orchestrated Babble. Rather than set the Orchestrated Babble, you set the counter trap so that they can't play. You banish whatever that they're gonna do. So depending on what they send to the graveyard, based off of Norleras' effect, you choose what you need and then set the correct card. Know your matchup. That's how you win games. If you don't know your matchup, if you're just playing in blind, you're taking a huge risk. So you can absolutely negate it, and once you put the card into the graveyard, you can go ahead and fetch out different cards. In this current build of mine, I am playing other fun cards such as Giznek, the Orochi. You already threw everything into the graveyard. There's no harm in banishing anything. You can search this card out with Orchestrated Crescendo, and you can just banish a bunch of cards, summon it out. You got a 2450 body that can pop a card by getting rid of 3 of your extra deck cards. Yeah, that's kind of fun if you ask me, and that's a lot of damage. And it's also a quick effect to chump block as well, so it can come out of nowhere. It's like come up by surprise. And let's get into this deck profile now. If you haven't enjoyed this already, well, if you guys give me 300 likes, I will play this at YCS Portland, and someone's day is gonna get ruined, but it's just not gonna be mine. It's just being like, oh, sorry, I guess you don't get the top now. Let's go into the deck profile now. Alright, so we're gonna go into the deck profile, guys. If I hit 5,000 likes, I'll delete this video so no one will ever have to see this again, but I'm not too worried because guess what? I don't even have 5,000 subscribers that would watch my videos. I'm just kidding, but we'll see. We'll see about this. But anyway, starting off into this, we have Triple Soul Eating Oviraptor, 1-card combo. Well, 1.5 cards if you guys really want to count the card that I'm throwing out for the activation of Mermaid. Okay, fine, you got me there. Oh, what a liar, Tom Box. Then we have Triple Draconet, same thing, just to go into a level 5 Synchro. So your only ditch with Soul Eating Oviraptor, or the only card you're throwing into the graveyard, is Carbonettin, and that will go into your Guard Dragon. And in terms of your vanilla tuners, we have Flambeau Guard if you summon the Soul Eating Oviraptor, so you can use the Carbonettin to summon this out, or you have Guard Dragon Justicia. That's just how it is. These are your 2 kind of bricks. If you open with them, it's not really a brick. If they have no hand trap and you open with these, it doesn't matter because you don't even have a hand at the end of this anyway, and both cards are able to summon from hand, which is very nice. Okay, into the Orcust deck. So if you're unable to go into the combo, you can still play a full Orcust deck with triple Heart Horror. That part never really changed, and that part's still kind of the same. You can easily put out 2 monsters because the Draconet and the Soul Eating Oviraptor, they both kind of do the same thing, put up 2 monsters and just kind of get there. And then we have Double Symbol Skeleton. If you can't put one back, at least you still have another one to dump with Orchestrated Nightmare. Orchestrated Nightmare, your summon target for Nightmare Mermaid. World Legacy World Wand. If you can actually toss into the graveyard, it can be an additional extender that they do not see, do not expect. There's also Dark Grepher, my secret extender. In case everything kind of goes south, you always have Dark Grepher to keep extending. That's what I really like him for. You need additional extenders if you don't get to go into the combo. I'm not just trying to be a one-trick pony, but I would like to win with a one-trick pony. And heck, I recommend everyone, if you want to try your luck at YCS Portland, just play this deck, see how many games you can actually take off of people. Maybe you'll play against a pro and then they get kind of screwed over because they didn't open a hand trap and you just happen to open your combo basically every game. And then there's Carbonettin, of course, your one card. You have Lee, the World Chalice Fairy, and then you have World Chalice Guard Dragon. These are all mandatory cards that you have to play because if you don't have your Light Fairy, there's no way you can get there. Then we have Omni Dragon Brotor, my favorite dragon. Well, my second favorite dragon, the big brother of Chaos Dragon Levianeer. If you already open with Norleras, then get a Levianeer. Maybe you'll have enough material to actually get a Ditch, but you don't have to search this if you don't need to. There's also Gizmek Orochi. If you somehow get this card in your hand, don't mind dumping into the graveyard. You can summon it out of the graveyard regardless. And of course, these are just additional text. And don't forget, it's a quick effect to summon him out. I really like that part of the effect. And it's recommended if you do summon out Gizmek, just make sure you don't, like you haven't, or maybe you have used the most of your effects. And of course, our boss monster, Sky Scourge Norleras. This was my favorite card for the longest time, and he had that really annoying one-card Grinder Golem FTK back in the day. You guys can look it up yourself. Anti-hand trap, I have Triple Ceravis. This guy, I could probably cut one down if I really wanted to, but I won't, because this guy's not once per turn, and hand size does not matter. I'd rather stop your impermanence from going off. And starting off with spell lineup, I have one Foolish Burial. That's right, it's in beautiful platinum rare. It's the most beautiful rarity. I know how much you guys love this, but I'm willing to sacrifice this card. If you guys hit 500 likes, I'll replace it right now. I will replace this card right now with an ultra rare. You know what? I'll just take your word for it. You guys probably did it already. I'll just switch it for you guys. I think you guys hate seeing this. Just throw this one away. Okay, so we have one Foolish Burial, and this can help you extend. If say your dinosaur or your Signet gets hit, you can use Foolish Burial to toss in Carbonettin to actually summon out your dragon regardless. So you can use your monster as a bait for the Ash Blossom Joyous Spring in case you don't have it. So this kind of acts as an anti-hand trap as well, which is why I love this card. Triple Signet Mining because I want to be able to get my plays going. Sometimes it's funny because you just have everything available, and these are just additional like bluffs. Like, oh, he tossed the card into the graveyard, but it was an Orcust card. Think about it. And then there is Triple Fossil Dig. Fossil Dig just gives you the dinosaur. I don't know what you want me to say about Fossil Dig. And Triple Cobble the Grave because hand traps suck. One Orchestrated Babble. And we have the mandatory copy of World Legacy Guard Dragon because you need to be able to move zones. Your extra deck is super tight in this build. There is almost no space. You can kind of make it a little bit more budget. You don't have to play Signet Mining. If you don't play Signet Mining, then you should probably maximize on the dinosaur side. And you can still play Draco Net because if you hard open with it, it's still okay. And that is the spell lineup. And our last card here is Orcust Crescendo because you want to have the counter trap that really annoys your opponent. And it also gives you the Dark Machine that you can search. That would be the main deck. Into our extra deck, we have Ib. You have to play Ib. Yeah, it's just your only synchro that opens up all your plays. If you get into her and you have a anti-hand trap, you should be able to rip your opponent's hand apart. If not that, and that's why this card it's going up. Like, it deserved to go up, and it is probably one of the cards that I'm really worried for an upcoming ban list if everyone's combo relies on her. In terms of the Nightmare Engine, we have Mermaid, Phoenix, and Unicorn. The only one that is, the only one that is not necessary is Phoenix. You can switch her out, but I just like popping a back row more than popping a monster because you get to non-target send everything to the graveyard if you actually get your combo out. So regardless, this is your mandatory number. One copy of Guard Dragon LP. I don't run Aggro Pain, I don't run Pisty. I only run this for the Brotor for the search. because there is no other way I can actually utilize this card unless I want to cut other cards in my deck just so I can fit a Pisty in here. I don't think it's worth it, to be honest. But if you want to cut a card, you can actually cut a Dingirzu, you can cut the Hopologic Bomber, but those cards add flexibility to your extra deck, makes your deck a bit more versatile in case that your like one trick pony, the pony doesn't work, so you have I guess you can find a second pony in your deck. Bad analogy. Okay, so yeah, one Guard Dragon. If you really want to, you can play Aggro Pain, you can start cutting stuff out and you can put it in your side deck so that you can smokescreen into something else. One copy of Dragoonity Knight Romulus. You don't have to play this, you can play Heretic Seal of Heavenly Spheres. Same idea. It's just there for a body. This one just has attack, I think. And I think the other one's a little easier to play with. Two beat cops, because you need 2 Dark Fiends and you just link yourself into yourself again. So yeah, you need that. So that's part of your material. Galatea, and Longirzu. These are your Orcust link monsters. If you get to the grind game, then you probably want to get to the Longirzu, and Longirzu works really well with the Topologic Bomber, and you can help you cycle out some of the stuff or cycle back in your already used Orcust cards. I have one Dingirzu and I have a proxy Dingirzu because Tombox is too poor to afford anything more than one Dingirzu. Ignore the Signet Mining. Shoutouts to you, Ethan, for letting me borrow all your Signet Minings. Yeah, that's right, those aren't even mine. And yeah, so you should probably get these. You probably only need 1 copy. The combo only demonstrated 1 copy, and you should be able to win with 1 copy, but the second copy gives you that security. Topologic Bomber and a Borrelsword, because these are your kill cards. This will secure you in a longer game. Borrelsword, of course, is a short game. You just finish them off because they had nothing on their top deck. That is the deck list. In terms of siding, what do you side out? Like, going second, you know your opponent's going to be able to stop you, and it is very unlikely that they're going to make you go first because they're risking a gamble of whether or not their hand trap is going to work against you. And I think they'd rather build a board so that you can't play. So in any case, what I usually would side out, I would side out Norleras. I would get rid of the combo entirely, because like the combo works really well if you go first. I'll put it back in if I lose game 2, but until then, that is where this is gonna go. And if I take that out, your siding space also includes, you can take out a bunch of Draco Nets. Like, you don't need them. This gives you additional space. You just have what you need and just minimize it. And in that case, you can even take out Signet Mining and just fix up your deck and just play something that's a bit more harsh, a bit more, I guess, more versatile. I guess you can still use these cards if you really want to, but that is up to you. And you can also take out the Cerevis because it is what it is. You can put in like evenly matches, something that is a bit more devastating than crippling the board, and just set up regular Orcust boards because it's still pretty annoying to get there. With the Topologic, and if you have triple like pop, that is pretty disgusting as well. If you remember your Orcust plays, I think Phil is going to demonstrate that. Sorry, his name is not Phil anymore. His name is P because I took his last 3 letters in a previous duel that you guys can check out. But yeah, that is the deck, guys. Yeah. Well, that is all I got for this video. So if you guys hit this like button, it hits 1,000 likes, I'll share with you guys one of my most embarrassing secrets in the next story time video. It's pretty bad. But I also have another secret announcement on Monday that I'll share with you guys if the video does really well. And that's all I got for this video, guys. So if you guys enjoy it, smash thumbs up. Don't forget to hit subscribe, ding the notification bell for my embarrassing story, or you can watch this video perhaps get deleted. I don't know. Will it get deleted? Maybe Tombox is a liar. And well, I'll see you guys in the next one. Ciao.